Alright, Joe Noakes here with Hankster's Hot Rods here in our Pennsylvania location here in Homer City, PA. And today we are going to go over our latest addition to our inventory. Sitting beside me here we have a 1965 Ford Mustang Coupe. Now this one's done in the, we're going to call it the turquoise exterior. You can see the paint, everything's in pretty good shape on this. Nice and shiny all the way around. Nice and smooth too the whole way around. As far as bright work goes on this car, we have just your typical stuff like your front and rear bumpers. Of course, we've got all the emblems there on the sides, including your 289 Fender emblem. You've got your Mustang logo down here. Also, all of your mirrors, all of your drip rail moldings, the door handles, and of course your quarter panel inserts here too. All of that is your bright work. All of it's in really good condition too. You can see the drip rail moldings nice and smooth the whole way around, nice and shiny. As I feel through that rain gutter too, I always want to make sure that that's nice and smooth through there, and on this car it is. All of your trim here around your windows, that's in pretty good shape. All of your glass too, that's in really good condition. We've got no chips or cracks or anything like that in your glass here on the side, nor do you have it on the windshield or the rear glass. And we'll see that as we work our way around. Of course, you've got just the one mirror, the driver's side mirror here. Again, the glass is in good shape. The chrome finish is in really good shape too. You can see your gaps there on the door, front and rear. Pretty uniform front to back there. You can also see your body lines all line up with one another. And again, your elevations match up really good with the fenders and the rear quarter panels. Our Mustang, as you see it sitting here, we've got the white lower body stripe on it there to kind of break up that monotonous color scheme there. But again, looks really nice with that white stripe. Wheels and tires on this car, as you can see, we've got the Fenton aluminum slot wheels. These are 14-inch wheels, both front and back. And you can see BF Goodrich radial TAs are what's on those wheels. Sizes on those are 205/70 14s, and then of course on the back we've got 215/70 14s on there as well. Treads in really nice condition on those. So as we come, well actually, let me open up the door. I almost forgot to do that. We definitely want to show you this interior, because this interior, the seats, front and rear, have been completely reupholstered. Nice white vinyl upholstery in there, matching front and rear. You see the front buckets, the rear bench seat there too. Of course, it's got the black carpeting in there, the white dash, the white door panels, all of which are in really great shape. Got the black dash pad there too. In the dash, all of your factory instrumentation, that is all functioning, including the 120 mile an hour speedo. You've got your factory steering wheel, of course the factory center console there with the floor shifter for the automatic shifter. Factory AM radio, and then it does have a set of, I believe, Pioneer speakers back in the package tray. So that's your interior, all of your weather stripping and seals around all the windows and the glass. Those are all in good shape. There's no rips or tears or chunks out of any of it. Everything should seal up really, really well for you. We'll close that up. You can see it closes nicely. Again, the rear quarter panel, nice and smooth the whole way back here. Then we get to the rear end of the car. Again, you've got the chrome bumper back here. You've got that Ford gas cap. Your tail lights there, the lenses, and the bezels around each one are all in really good shape. You got the little bumperettes down here too. And then, of course, you've got the chrome slash cut exhaust tips as well. Now, when you look at your trunk lid, you can see your gap the whole way around. Of course, the elevations when compared to your rear quarter panels are in really good shape. The rear glass, all of your bright trim work here around it, all in good shape. The glass itself is in good condition too. We'll go ahead and open our trunk lid up, and we'll show you inside the trunk here next. So first off, the lock works, the latch works. Your hinges and your spring all work. As you can see, it's holding itself up very nicely there. Your weather stripping here along the trunk lid, all in really great shape. Looks like it's probably fairly new too. Nice and soft. They've got it meeting together here right in the center. So again, that's going to seal up nice. Of course, the underside of the trunk painted the same as the exterior of the car. You can see all of your like your rain gutters through your trunk area here, all in good shape. Got a nice trunk mat in here. And of course, on the Mustangs, again, most of your floor comes by the way of the fuel tank. And again, the fuel tank in this is in really good shape. So again, you're going to have a nice solid floor back here for your Mustang. Now, we'll close this up. Again, it shuts nice and easy. Again, you can see it all matches up really well back here too for your trunk fitment. As we come to the passenger side, we're going to just kind of look again at our panels. Everything looks nice and smooth along the rear quarter panel, even your sail panels and the roof, same thing. Your drip rail moldings here again, nice and smooth, nice and straight. The glass in good condition again over here, no chips or cracks, and all of your trim around here is in pretty good shape too. Door handles included, so all of your bright work. Again, that white lower body stripe, you can look at your gaps on the back and front side of your door and your body lines. Again, all line up. So we'll take a peek from the passenger side now, just so you get the all-around look of the interior. Like I said, the seat upholstery front and rear, all new and looks great. The carpeting, no rips or tears there, no fading that I can see. Seat belts on the front seats as well. And again, the dash is in great shape. There's no cracks or anything like that across that dash pad. So we'll close this, and then we'll continue to the front. Again, you just have the matching emblems and so forth on this side on the front fender, and we'll get to the front now, which we'll see our chrome front bumper here in excellent condition too. You've got your grille here. Again, that's all intact with the pony logo right in the center. Of course, you got your Ford lettering up on top here. A little bit of bright work trim here right along the edge, leading edge of that hood. You can see your gaps on that hood then too the whole way around, and your elevations with your front fenders here. Everything seems to match up really well. And then of course you can see that front windshield there too. Now what we'll do next is we're going to go ahead and open up our hood, and we'll take a look at what we have for a motor here. So first thing, once we open up the hood, you're going to see, again, same color paint on the underside of your hood here as the rest of the car. Of course, your engine compartment, it's all blacked out, as that's usually the case. Now with this particular car, this is a date correct 289 cubic inch small block Ford motor. You can see it's got the matching chrome air cleaner along with the chrome valve pan valve pan covers there. Underneath that, you've got a 1406 series Edelbrock carb. That is a 650 CFM carb. You've got the Edelbrock aluminum intake underneath that too. And then, of course, for exhaust, these are just going to be the stock cast exhaust manifolds, emptying out into dual exhaust the whole way back to the rear of the car. Now, this car is power steering. As you can see, there is the power steering reservoir. Belt is all intact there. We do have power brakes here too, but they are power four-wheel drum brakes. But again, the brakes are in actual good working condition on this car. You can see a stock style radiator. You've got the chrome fan shroud, and then as far as the fan goes, that is a steel 4-blade fan, so that'll help cool everything down there. As far as the ignition system, they've elected to go with the stock style points distributor there, and coil with some upgraded newer plug wires there too to help get that spark to those plugs. That's pretty much it as far as the engine goes. Now behind this motor for the transmission, we've got the C4 automatic transmission, and then all the way back at the rear end, it is a Ford 8-inch rear. It's got a 276 gear in it, and it is a POSI unit that is in that rear end. So we've been around the outside of the car, we've been inside, now underneath the hood. So next thing we're going to do is get this up on the lift so we can take you through the underside, and then finally we'll fire up this 289 so you get to hear exactly what it sounds like. Alright, we are underneath our 1965 Ford Mustang Coupe here, so we're going to go through the underside of this car, as we do with all of our vehicles here, and we're going to go through steering, suspension, frame, floors, driveline, all of that stuff, so you can see exactly what you're looking at underneath here. So to start with up front, we'll start with the suspension. This has your typical Mustang front suspension. It's the strut rod style front suspension, which all of your bushings are all in good shape for your strut rods. Your upper and lower control arms, again, that's all factory stock stamped steel components. Ball joints on all of those are in great shape too. You can tell They've been probably replaced in some cases, but well maintained in all the others. As far as the rest of the front suspension, we do have a front sway bar here. Sway bar mounts, the bushings for at the frame mounts and your sway bar end links, those are all in great shape too. And then of course just your just your typical shocks for on the front end of the car. As far as the steering goes on this car, we do have power steering. It's just your stock Mustang power steering. All of your tie rods are in great shape. Rubber dust boot covers are all intact at each of the ball joints. And again, you can tell everything's been greased and maintained, thoroughly throughout the years. That's your steering, that's your suspension up front. Now as far as brakes, we do have power brakes. They are four-wheel drums though, but again, power, and they do stop very well on this vehicle. As far as the driveline, we'll talk about that next since we're kind of standing right underneath here. We do have a date correct 289 motor here. Oil pan on that. I looked the whole way around it. It's nice and dry. I don't see any drips or leaks. Right behind that, we've got the C4 automatic transmission. It does have the flywheel cover to keep dirt and debris out of there, and the transmission pan on that also dry and free of drips or leaks. Of course, you've got your transmission cross member here for your tail shaft to rest on, and that mount is in good shape. And your seal here right at the output for your transmission where your slip yoke fits into, that is all dry also. Of course, your drive shaft is next. It's a balanced unit, going to take any kind of vibrations out of that drive line. And then we've got the Ford 8-inch rear end back here. Now this thing does have a 276 gear in it. It is a POSI unit. And as far as your rear suspension, since we're back here, you've got your multi-leaf rear suspension back here. Got a set of coilovers. Now these are non-adjustable coilover shocks, but that's what you have for your shocks. To finish out your braking, it does have the emergency brake all hooked up, so all of your cables, front to intermediate to the rear cables going back to the drum, those are all intact and all functioning. And then as far as the frame and the floors now, your frame sections here, you can see those are in good shape, nice and straight the whole way back. All of your pinch welds here at your body, those are all nice and straight the whole way back through. Now the floors on this car, it does look as though we've had a complete side put in here. It's done nicely though. You can see it's the correct pans. You can see all of your stamping lines and markings on this. Now over here, this would be, it looks like the stock or the factory floor pan. And it does look like they've made a repair or two here, but again, they've done it correctly. They've seam sealed everything, and everything is all sealed up there. So everything looks good. And then of course you've got your rear frame sections here, the dog legs that go up over top of the rear end and clear back to the rear of the car where your bumper mounts. Those are all nice and straight as well. Fuel tank, that is in great shape. There's no dents or dings in that. All of your fuel lines and brake lines are run accordingly underneath the rear and up through the transmission tunnel here on the car. Those are all in good shape as well. And then finally, exhaust system. We've got the stock cast exhaust manifolds. I got the crossover tube right here. And then of course you've got your dual mufflers here. Not sure what name brand these are. They're a smaller muffler. They shouldn't restrict the exhaust too much. Should give it a kind of a real nice pitch to the exhaust. And of course you've got the tailpipes up over top of the rear end housing. Finished off in a set of slash cut chrome exhaust tips there. And those are bolt-on exhaust tips. So if you don't like them, you can change them out to maybe a bell style or whatever you might prefer. So that's pretty much it for underneath our car. The only thing left is just the wheels and tires. Now on this car we've got 14-inch wheels the whole way around. They are the Fenton aluminum slots. And then as far as tires, these are BF Goodrich radial TAs. Sizes on them are 205/70 14s on the front, and then 215/70 14s on the rear. And again, as you can see, the tread on these things, just like brand new on them. So that is it for underneath our car. We're going to go ahead and drop this down off the lift next, get that hood open, and then we'll fire up that 289 motor so you all can see and hear what that thing sounds like.